Hi, everybody. Greetings from Orlando, Florida. Man, we've been here since Tuesday. It's now the following Monday, and it's just been amazing. I love it here. Man, beautiful. Weather's been great. It's a little chilly in the morning to wear a jacket, but right now I'd say it's probably, I'm in a t-shirt. I'm actually in my new Bob Dylan t-shirt that my daughter got me for Christmas. So this is a contest entry. I don't enter too many contests anymore, but some it's important to do, and this one is very important to do because it's for one of my best friends, Robert Hagerman from Robert's on My Turntable. If you're not a subscriber to Robert's channel, please do so. Robert's on My Turntable. He's got a wonderful record collection. He's an amazing guy, shows some great records, very knowledgeable, and it's got a really cool, just laid back, easygoing personality. You probably are getting to know Robert from his regular appearances on the live chats on the Canadian Stud Muffin channel with myself and Larry and Sam St. John and whoever else happens to come on board. So Robert's a great guy. He has, when I looked this morning, he has 693 subscribers to his channel, and Robert's trying to increase. He has a goal of getting to 1,000, which kind of we all have that goal. I'm at 953, and it's just, to get 47 more subscribers, it's a tough sledding. So Robert's contest is called Push to 700 Subscribers Contest. He's at 693, so I only need 7 more. If I can help him with 7 of my viewers going over to Robert's on My Turntable and subscribing to his channel, that would be amazing. I would really appreciate it, and I'm sure Robert would too. So the theme of this contest is name 5 albums that had the biggest influence on you as a teenager. So my teenage years were from 1966 to 1972. Yeah, that's it. I was turned 20 in 1973. So the first, because I'm not in my basement, I don't have access to my record collection. So I usually like to show the records. I've only got, my daughter has a nice record collection, but she doesn't have any of the 5 important records I'm choosing. She only has 1 of them. So I'll save that for the end because it is probably the most important record of my teenage years. First, 1966, I'm going to go with Surrealistic Pillow, Jefferson Airplane. Up until then, 64, 65, 66, it was Beatles, 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 and British Invasion stuff, Stones, Dave Clark 5, Herman's Hermits, Jerry and the Pacemakers, the Kinks, whatever, all those great bands from the British Invasion in 1964. 66 is kind of the San Francisco scene started to blossom with Summer of Love, Haight-Ashbury. Then an album was released called Surrealistic Pillow by the Jefferson Airplane, and I got that, and it just blew my mind and sent me in a whole other direction. And I became just a huge fan of anything that came out of the San Francisco scene, especially the Airplane. They were my favorite at the time. I didn't pay, as much as I'm a big Grateful Dead fan now, one of my top 5 favorite bands of all time. At that point, Grateful Dead didn't mean too much to me. I didn't get into them till later. But Jefferson Airplane and Country Joe and the Fish were 2 big ones for me, especially Jefferson Airplane and the Surrealistic Pillow album. It's still one of my favorite records. 1967, I can't release that is my favorite album of all time. So obviously it had a big impact on my teenage years. My life is Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. I mean, I was a huge Beatles fan. Used to eat, sleep, and drink Beatles from the first time I saw them on Ed Sullivan. And Sgt. Pepper came out in June of '67 and just was mind-blowing. It just the studio effects and the songs and the psychedelic type influence, and just I still think it's the greatest, most influential record ever released. And yeah, so it's had a major impact on my whole life, not just my teenage years. Another album that came out, I was obviously the big hit at the time, Jack Van Morrison, Brown Eyed Girl, and then an album called Blowing Your Mind. Now, if you bought the Blowing Your Mind album, it was very R&B, bluesy, harmonica, Hammond B organ, He Ain't Give You None, and TB Sheets. They were just like a lot of bluesy stuff and Van's voice, and we fell in love with that album. And then Van releases Astro Weeks, and without knowing it, you buy it because it's the follow-up to Blowing Your Mind, and it's just total different direction, total different feel. It's a folky, jazzy, freeform, poetic masterpiece. It's just incredible. It just opened my ears to so much different music, because everything else in 1968 was, I mean, we had Blue Cheer and Big Brother and the Holding Company and just Hendrix, and then Van Morrison comes out with this album out of nowhere that's just absolutely gorgeous, and one of my favorite albums of all time. Another album that blew my mind, this would be number 4 on the list, would be Led Zeppelin 1. I bought Led Zeppelin 1 because of the cover the first time I saw it in the record store when it was released. And I brought it home and put it on, and the first track is In the Days of My Youth. Oh man, just like, whoa. My head was completely gone. My ears were stuck on each wall, blood all over the place. Just could not get enough of this album. Just, major influence on heavy blues, whatever. Just incredible. And then, so I got 4. Now let's recap. Surrealistic Pillow, Sgt. Pepper, Astro Weeks, Led Zeppelin 1, and this album, which is totally different from all the others that my daughter does have in her collection. It is John Hartford Steam-Powered Aeroplane. Now, if everybody who watches my channel on a regular basis knows I'm a banjo player, and one of the reasons I'm a banjo player is because of this album, and one of the reasons I'm a fan of roots music is because of this album. Released in 1971, I was aware of John Hartford from his appearances on the Glenn Campbell Good Time Hour. He would come out and he was this long-haired hippie guy, that we could relate to, but he's playing a banjo and he's singing all these kind of weird lyrics and just amazing. And he's such a great musician. Any string instrument John Hartford played, banjo, guitar, fiddle, he was amazing. And this album also has Tut Taylor on the dobro, the incredible Norman Blake, one of the great flat pickers of all time, and Vassar Clements, one of the great fiddle players of all time. Quick story, this album was out of print, and I wanted the CD. The CD was out of print. I ended up in conversations because of my banjo forums and stuff that I was on, ended up befriending a gentleman by the name of Mark Taylor. Mark Taylor, turns out, was Tut Taylor's son. And I was messaging back and forth with Mark, just saying how much this album meant to me and that I'm having trouble finding it. Mark messaged me back and said, I still have a couple of the original CDs, said, I will send you one. And he sent it to me, and I still have it. Just an amazing gesture, and one of the most important albums of my life. I started playing in bands probably around 1978 or 79, and played in bands right up until maybe 4 or 5 years ago, and not even 3 years ago, 4 years ago, whatever. And the banjo took me to so many places, met so many great people through the instrument, discovered so much great music through the instrument, and it's just been a huge part of my life. I owe it all basically to this album and maybe a couple others, but this is major. So that's it for me. Robert, I wish you luck in the contest. I want everyone to go over to Robert's channel and subscribe, and we will see you soon. I'm going to do a video on my daughter's record collection, and I'll be doing some videos on music I pick up while I'm in Orlando and anything else that comes up. Live chats with the Canadian Stud Muffin. Watch for those. And peace out, everyone. Have a wonderful day.